Hello students. In our last session, we have completed with the chapter number 8, that is body movements. So what we are going to do in today's session? In today's session, we will revise all the topics that we have studied in the body movements chapter. So this session will be a small revision of chapter number 8 so that you will understand it much better. Let's start with this chapter. Different movements are taking place in our body. Now, if I will ask you to sit straight and do nothing, but then too, some of the parts of our body moves. Like our eyes blink. We breathe. Breathing involves two processes, exhalation and inhalation, taking in the air and releasing out the air from our body. So, these process leads to the movement of some of the parts of our body, isn't it? Now sometimes while sitting at the same place, we just nod our head. We turn behind. These are the movements that are taking place in our body when we remain at the same place. Now, if we want to move from one place to another, we will either walk, run, jump, etc. Isn't it? In that process, our whole body shows the movement. Now, if I will ask you to bend your hand at the elbow and leg at the knee, will you be able to do it? Yes. And while playing the cricket, if you are bowling, what happens to your shoulder? Doesn't it rotates completely? Now, if I will tell you to bend your elbow backwards, will you be able to do it? No. So, we are able to move a few parts of our body easily in the various directions and some only in one direction. So, few parts of our body can move in various directions while few parts of our body can move only in one direction. Now, how we are able to bend or rotate the different parts of our body? How is it possible? This is possible because of the joints that are present in our body. Joints, we are able to bend or rotate our body in places where two parts of our body seems to be joined together. So what are joints? We have studied that joints are the part of our body in which two parts of the body seems to be joined. And these places are called as joints. Our body is also consists of bones, and bones are the hard structure. Bones cannot be bent. There are different types of joints in our body to help us to carry out the different movements and activities. We have studied about the various joints because as these joints are present in our body, the different movements and activities are easy to carry out. First, we have studied about ball and socket joint. So, what we have studied about ball and socket joint? Have you remembered? What are ball and socket joint? The rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity that is the hollow space of the other bone. These type of joints are known as ball and socket joint. Do you remember we have performed an activity to know the structure of ball and socket joint? In which we have used a ball, a plastic cylinder and a bowl, which was resembling the shape of the ball and socket joint. So, in ball and socket joint, the rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity that is the hollow space of the other bone. So, such joints allow the movements in all directions. So, ball and socket joint allow the movement in all direction. What are the examples of ball and socket joint? Where is the ball and socket joint present in our body? It is present in the shoulder and in the hip region. Then we have studied about the pivotal joint. What are pivotal joint? Where the pivotal joints are present? And how does the pivotal joint shows the movement? Pivotal joint, in the pivot joint cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. So, as the cylindrical bone will rotate in a ring. See, in the image you can see how the bone. The joint where one neck joins the head is a pivotal joint. So, the pivotal joint we can see is present in our neck, which joins the head. Pivotal joint is also present in wrist. It allows us to bend our head forward and backward and turn the head to right or left. So, the pivotal joint shows the movement in forward and the backward direction and also in right and left. You can also try to bend your head. It will move in the backward and the forward direction, and you can turn your head to right or left, isn't it? This is because of the pivotal joint. Then we have studied about hinge joint. How does the hinge joint shows the movement? For this also we have studied an activity. In the activity we have studied that the hinges that are present in the door allows the door to move in the back and forth direction. Similarly, the hinge joint that are present in our body allows the back and forth movement. So, where are the hinge joints present in our body? Hinge joints are present at the elbow, knee, fingers, toes and ankle. You can try to move your elbow. It will show the back and forth movement, isn't it? Then we have studied about the fixed joint. What are fixed joint? In the three joints that we have studied, the ball and socket joint, pivotal joint and the hinge joint, we see some of the other movement. But in the fixed joints, the bone cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called as the fixed joints. So, in fixed joints, the bone cannot move. Therefore, these joints are known as fixed joints. What are the examples of the fixed joints that are present in our body? The joints that are present in our head. In the lower jaw. When you wide open your mouth, you can move the lower jaw away from your head, but you cannot move the upper jaw. So, upper jaw is fixed while the lower jaw shows the movement. Then we have studied about skeleton. What is a skeleton? All the different bones in our body forms a framework to give a shape to our body. As we know that different bones are present in our body, these bones form a framework so as to give the shape to our body. This framework is called as skeleton. So, how many bones do our skeleton consist of? At the time of the birth, there are 305 bones present. But as we grow, the bones get reduced to 206 as some of the bones get fused with each other. Then we have studied about carpals. What are carpals? Our finger is made up of several bones. Our finger consists of many bones that are joined together. Due to these bones, we can bend our finger. And these small bones are known as carpals. Then we have studied about rib cage. What is rib cage? The bones of the chest and the backbone join together to form a box-like structure, and this box-like structure is called as a rib cage. What does the rib cage do? The rib cage encloses and protects the internal important parts of our body like lungs and heart. Then we have studied about vertebrae. What is vertebrae? Our backbone is made up of many small bones, due to which we can bend. And these bones are known as vertebrae. Our backbone consists of 33 vertebrae. Then we have also studied about the shoulder bone and the pelvic bone. What is shoulder bone? Where it is present? The two prominent bones that we see at the back of the shoulders are the shoulder bone. Then what is pelvic bone? The pelvic bone encloses the portion of our body below the stomach. This is the portion where we sit on. Then we have studied about cartilage. What are cartilage? Our skeleton consists of some parts that are not as hard like the bone and which can be bent. These parts are called as cartilage. We have studied that the upper part of our ear is made up of cartilage. As bones are hard and cannot be bent, the cartilage are soft and that can be bent. You might have observed the upper part of the ear is not soft like the earlobe, but it is not hard like that of the bone, isn't it? Our skeleton is made up of many bones, joints and cartilage. Muscle bulges due to contraction. On contraction, muscle bulges out. Then we have studied the movement of the bone. How does the bone move? When contracted, the muscle becomes shorter, stiffer and thicker. It pulls the bone. Muscles always pulls the bone. It never pushes the bone. When contracted, the muscles become short, stiff and thick. Muscles always work in pair. We have studied that muscles always work in pair. When one of the muscle contracts, the bone is pulled in that direction while the other pair of muscle relaxes at that time, isn't it? So, contraction and relaxation of muscles helps the bone to move. Then we have studied about the gait of the animals. What do you mean by the gait of the animals? It is the different movement shown by the animals to move from one place to another. First, we have studied about the earthworm. How does the earthworm move? The body of the earthworm is made up of many rings joined to end. So, how is the body of the earthworm? The body of the earthworm has many rings that are joined from one end to other. Also, the earthworm does not contain any bone. So, how does the earthworm move? The body of the earthworm is made up of many muscles. These muscles helps to extend and shorten its body during moving. While moving, the earthworm extends the front part of its body while the rear end will remain fixed to the ground. Later, when it extends the rear end, the front part of the body will be fixed to the ground. Repeatedly expansion and contraction of muscles helps the earthworm to move. The earthworm also secretes the slimy substance. Also, the earthworm body is made up of consists of many bristles. These bristles are connected with the muscles. Now, what do these bristles do? These bristles helps to get a good grip on the ground. So, these bristles help the earthworm to get a good grip on the ground. Then we have studied the movement of the snail. How does the snail move? We see the outer covering on the snail's body. What is this? This is the shell. That is the outer skeleton of the snail. And also the snail does not have bones. The outer skeleton of the snail is not made from the bones. The shell is the single unit and does not help in moving from place to place. It is dragged along. So, it is not the shell that helps the snail to move from one place to another. It is dragged or carried along with the snail. The snail moves very slowly and in the wavy motion. So, how do the snail move? You remembered we have performed an activity in which we have placed the snail on the glass and we have noticed the movement. So, what have we noticed? We have observed that the snail moves very slowly and in wavy motion. After that, we have studied about the cockroach. We know that The cockroaches can fly, walk and even climb. So how is it possible for cockroach to do this? The body is covered with a hard outer skeleton. So the cockroach body is made up of hard outer skeleton which are connected with the number of the plates. The cockroaches have 3 pairs of legs which helps them to walk. Also, they have the 2 pairs of wings. The cockroaches have distinct muscles. The muscles that are present near the legs helps the cockroaches to walk, and the muscles that are present on the body helps the wings to move, which makes the cockroaches to fly. Then we have studied the movement of the birds. The bones present in the birds are hollow and light. The bones of the hind limbs are typical for walking and perching. We have seen that the bones of the hind limbs of the birds are used for walking and perching. What do you mean by perching? They can sit on them. Bony part of the forelimbs are modified as the wings. So the forelimbs are modified into wings which help them to fly. Breast bones are modified to hold the muscles of the flight which are used to move wings up and down. So what does the breastbone do? They hold the muscles during the flight and they help in the moving of the wings up and down. Next we have studied about the fish. How do fish moves in water? What makes the fish to swim in water? How is it possible for the fish that fishes can swim in the water? Fish have a streamlined body. What do you mean by streamlined body? The head and the tail part of the fish is small as compared to the middle part of the fish body. The body of the fish tapers at both the ends. This shape of the body is known as streamlined body. The shape of the fish is such that it allows the water to flow around it easily and allow the fish to move in water. Due to the streamlined body, the water can flow around it easily and allow the fish to move in water. The skeleton of the fish is covered with strong muscles. During swimming, muscles make the front part of the body curve to one side and tall part swings towards the opposite side. This forms the curve. During swimming, the muscles of the fish forms the curve. This movement makes the fish to move ahead. Various fins are also present on the fish body. Next we have studied about the snake. Snakes have a long backbone with many thin muscles. So how is the backbone of the snake? It is very long and it is made up of very thin muscles that are interconnected with each other. The long body of a snake have many loops and each loop gives this push. The snake move forward very fast and not in a straight line. So how is the body of the snake? The long body of the snake is made up of many loops and each loop pushes the snake in the forward direction. That too very fast and not in a straight line. Therefore, snakes always slithers. So, in this chapter we have seen that the different animals move differently. Like some of the animals swim, some fly, some walk and some slithers. Why? We see the different movements in the animals. Even the animals use the different parts of the body to move from one place to another. Why? As their body is evolved like that. The arrangement of the muscles and the bones are different in the different animals. So we see the different movements in them. So here we complete our chapter. I hope you have understood this.